So, we're diving into this really intriguing dilemma. Should I say something or should I stay quiet? It's that common relationship, work, or even personal moment when you're torn between speaking your truth and holding back for fear of being
Yeah,
unkind.
exactly. Right. I totally get it. It's like you're standing at a fork in the road, and every option seems to have its own set of risks and rewards.
Exactly. It's not just a simple yes or no situation. In fact, the discussion suggests that it's less about whether you speak up and more about, well, which part of you is actually
Mm.
driving that need to speak.
And that inner driver could be from care, or maybe it's just fear or urgency, if you know what I mean, right?
Right on. It's about that underlying energy almost, the truth of your feelings, coupled with the intention behind them. I find it fascinating that even when intentions are good, like genuine care, if you're rushed or anxious, it all can come off all wrong.
Yep. So it's really about cultivating that self-awareness, like asking yourself, what is really my intention here, rather than just blurting out your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, the advice is essentially slow down, check in with your feelings, and consider what part of me really wants to say this. This introspection can really transform the conversation.
Absolutely. And it ties into how, when you speak, the emotional energy underneath your words will, in turn, shape how your message is received by others, right?
Precisely. Think about it. The same phrase, say, I need more space, could come off as either caring or, cold, depending on the vibe you're emanating.
Very true. So it becomes about channeling a sort of self-energy, like that calm, centered place, and not the reactive part of you that's perhaps a little defensive.
Right, and interestingly, there's even this nod to concepts from internal family systems therapy, where you speak from your true self rather than a defensive reaction. It can really change the game in maintaining a healthy
Yep,
relationship
absolutely.
dynamic.
I also find it so compelling how it challenges the notion that you have to choose between being honest and being kind. I mean, couldn't you actually be both?
Exactly, and that's the core of the message. You don't have to choose. It's not like black and white, it's more like a spectrum. There's room for being clear about what's true while also being gentle and connected.
hmm It reminds me of that everyday scenario. When you're with a friend and you're hurt by something she did, you might hesitate because you don't want to come off as critical or judgmental. And instead, you might just say yes when you mean no. That inauthenticity can really create more problems down the road.
Yep, and it's so relatable. Because a lot of us have been there, holding back, overthinking, or sugarcoating what we really feel. It's this common struggle in our communication habits that often leads to misunderstanding.
Yeah, I agree. Now, here's something I want to challenge a bit. Some might argue that too much introspection can actually lead to paralysis, like you've thought so much about your intention that you end up saying nothing at all. What do you think about that?
That's a fair point. It can be a fine line. But the intention here isn't to cause hesitation for its own sake. It's more about ensuring that the message comes from a grounded, genuine place, not from panic or a need to control the situation.
So it's like taking a moment to breathe, to settle before you speak, not to freeze up entirely.
Exactly. It's that space in between where honesty and kindness can coexist. It encourages gentle self-checking. Who am I speaking from? What's driving me? That way, you're more likely to connect rather than disconnect.
Totally right. It almost sounds like it's promoting a kind of mindful communication. I mean, the message really underscores the importance of internal regulation. And there's even research in interpersonal neurobiology mentioned that backs this up. When we speak from a calm, connected state, people are more receptive.
Yes, yeah, that part is pretty compelling. It's not just theoretical. It's backed by research and personal experience. The idea is that if you can access that internal calm, your self-led energy, it can significantly change how others receive your words.
Indeed. And that doesn't mean you're holding back on truth, right? It's more about the delivery. For instance, you might say something that's hard, like needing more space, but if the tone is, caring and balanced, it doesn't come off as harsh.
Precisely. It's all about the energy behind the words, the The same sentence can land very differently depending on that internal state.
Yeah, I love that part because it really departs from the idea that emotions have to be all or nothing. You can have a mix, honesty tempered by compassion.
Right, exactly, and that's a major takeaway. It's okay to be honest and kind simultaneously. There's a call here to reflect before acting, to ask yourself, what is it exactly that I'm trying to communicate? And is the energy I'm holding going to help build connection, or is it going to create a wall?
Absolutely. And in practical terms, there are these really thoughtful journaling prompts, aren't there? Like reflecting on what's been held back, or which part of oneself is nervous to speak up. It seems like an effective tool for personal growth.
Yeah, the journaling prompts are a great practical takeaway. They encourage you to really dig deep and ask, what's this part of me afraid will happen if I stay quiet? It can be a path to discover deeper feelings and work through them in a more grounded way.
Yep. It's like doing a little internal audit of your emotions. And that, in turn, can help shift your interpersonal dynamics, especially if you're often in environments where your feelings might get overlooked.
Totally. And I want to highlight that the speaker's personal anecdote about staying present for a friend really drives it home. Even when you don't fully connect with the issue, showing that you're there and acknowledging the other person's feelings really matters.
Absolutely right. It almost reminds me how sometimes our silence can be just as hurtful as saying the wrong thing. It really is a delicate balance.
Yes. And the underlying message is that even when you have something hard to say, it's okay to say it if you take the time to hold it with care. Speak from your heart, in other words.
Yeah, exactly. And that, in the end, builds authenticity in your relationships and in yourself. Plus, it helps build an environment where both parties feel seen and heard.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we're allowed to be honest and kind. We don't have to choose silence over truth or truth over kindness.
Right. One thing I really appreciate about this discussion is that it gently challenges the stigma around speaking up. It suggests that silence isn't always the kind, honorable option, even when we worry about causing conflict.
Yes, it really does. It's like you have permission to speak from a grounded place, and that in itself is liberating. It can transform your relationships by fostering vulnerability and trust.
Definitely. And speaking of transformation, there's also that element of self-growth. By genuinely exploring where our communication is coming from, we're understanding ourselves better. And that self-awareness is the bedrock of healthier interactions.
Absolutely. It's about not letting fear or the need to fix things dictate how we express ourselves. Instead, by checking in with our real emotions, we can prepare how we share our truth in, like, a more compassionate way.
Right, exactly. Now, one might say, but what if it still doesn't work? I mean, what if speaking from that calm, honest space still leads to misunderstanding?
Well, that's a valid concern. But the discussion suggests that even if the result isn't perfect, the process of striving to stay authentic and kind creates a stronger foundation than simply defaulting to silence or sugarcoating.
I see what you mean. It's like a continual learning process where every conversation, even the tough ones, becomes an opportunity for growth.
Exactly, and the beauty is, it's not just about the other person. It's also about honoring yourself. When you speak from your true self, you're giving yourself permission to be heard and validated.
Ultimately, it's really empowering. You reclaim your voice while also nurturing the connection with the other person. It's a win-win.
Yes, and that balance, that third way of being both honest and kind, holds so much promise for healthier, more authentic relationships. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Absolutely right. For sure. And so if you're ever caught at that fork in the road, maybe try a little self-reflection first. Ask yourself, which part of me wants to speak? And am I ready to share from a place of care?
Exactly. Taking that small moment to align your internal energy with your intention might just change everything. Thanks for this deep dive. It's been, really enlightening.
Yeah, truly inspiring. Absolutely. I hope this conversation sparks some thoughtful self-reflection and encourages people to speak their truth with kindness.